Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, the Wednesday Night War, where we are taking NXT head-to-head with AEW and see who wins. And if we lose, we have to subject ourselves to some horrible things suggested by you, the viewer. So, we've been a little bit of a gap in between footage. It's been about 2 weeks now, probably since this goes out. I was on vacation over in Florida for about a week, and so there's been a bit of a delay in terms of when things came out. I was hoping to have some stuff filmed and edited, but it just didn't quite happen the way I wanted it to. So I apologize for a little bit of a delay, but fear not, there is a bunch of stuff coming out. I already have 3 episodes in the works that will trickle out probably by the end of this week and beginning of next week, as well as some other things, including a return of my video essay series, The Armchair Booker, where we'll be looking at AEW hires. So it should be pretty interesting to see, and I'm hoping to get that out either end of next week, early week after, possibly. We'll see how it goes. May end up taking a week or 2 to edit. Those things take a bit of time. So if you were a fan of that series, hopefully you'll swing by and take a look at that. Hoping to do more of that in the coming year. So your support will be very appreciated. And also your suggestions for future episodes would always be appreciated as well. Some of the best ideas I've gotten this channel has come from you guys, either on Twitter or in my comments. So keep it up. So, where are we left off here for NXT? Well, we had an okay show, a little bit underwhelmed compared to AEW, and unfortunately McMahon has stepped in. He has given us a task. Luckily, it's not too bad. He wants us to do a major rib on somebody. Now, because I am a huge idiot, I think we're going to do it on Gargano, because he already has morale issues, because he's upset with a botched turn. So we're going to try to make him feel better by doing a very risky rib. It's not going to go well. We'll see how it goes. We could do some hiring. I feel pretty happy with what we have right now, so I think we're just going to go right to the show and book it, and hopefully we can get something better. Okay, so let's see if we got stopped here. Let's see what's going on. Steve Cutler is upset with the push we're giving him. Okay, well, let's see why. You don't want to be an enhancement talent. Yeah, sure, you can be a lower mid-carder. Why not? That's fine. Alright, we do have a show tonight. So he just had a minor morale issue from that. That's not a big deal. Let's quickly take a look and see in the last week if AEW has done anything in the news that could impact us. And they had their weird pay-per-view. I don't think so. I don't think they've done anything here. They haven't added any new signings, really. They had their pay-per-view, which was odd. Our pay-per-view is coming up soon, which I believe is War Games. Week 1 of November. So we got 2 more NXTs, this one and the next one, until our pay-per-view. Which we're not scoring the pay-per-views because they're not being timed the same way. We're just doing our day-to-day show. But that type of momentum can always be important for us, so we're still going to book them. And obviously, since they're doing them too, we got to do them. We're just not rating them head-to-head. We could, maybe. I mean, you guys let me know if you think it's fair. Maybe we book it and then look back at whatever their last pay-per-view was, and maybe we grade it. I haven't quite figured that part out. That probably makes sense, right? Let me know what you guys think. Should we grade the pay-per-views head-to-head and just see whoever had the most recent pay-per-view? We mark it down and kind of see who did it better, that kind of thing. I guess that kind of makes sense, even though it's not night to night, but it's still, it represents the same thing, right? All right, let's go ahead and let's book NXT. We have no backstage rating problems. That's about to change because I need to do a rib, and I'm going to do it to Johnny Gargano, and it's going to be has to be a risky rib. There's a 50% chance of improving locker room morale, which is already 100%. There's a 60% chance of upsetting him, and a 45% chance of improving his morale. He's already annoyed. Let's see how Mr. Wrestling feels about this. Gone down well with the locker room. He has been upset by our action, and so is Candice LeRae, and so is Ciampa. Thanks, guys. So, yeah, we're now upset a bunch of people with that. Our locker room rating's still great, though. We're still waiting on Kai, Tommaso coming back, Sabatelli, Knox, and Sasha should be back soon. I think after the next pay-per-view, we'll have her in action for us. Remember, we do have Finn, but we actually booked this before NXT actually drafted him over anyways, so he's only on a temporary loan for us, but that's fine. All right, let's go ahead. Let's book it. Got 120 minutes to do it in. Let's see what we can come up with, and hopefully it's better than what AEW is going to do tonight. All right, we are running this lean. 115 minutes, so figure 5 minutes for commercial breaks, technically. It seems like we're at a disadvantage the more matches and angles we have, so we have to maybe be careful about that, because AEW seems to not have to need to do that and get much better ratings. So we're going to run a little bit leaner, but still progress our stories, because that still matters to us. So let's go ahead and let's see what we booked and how it ends up. We start off, that's not great. Gave the boys a win in the open of the match. Terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat. Boys defeat 3.0 in 12 minutes. That's a bummer. But yeah, their skill set's not great here. We have, afterwards, they kind of sweep up, and then Shayna comes out, and she does a promo where basically she's saying that, she's dominant. No one's been able to beat her. She doesn't even think that she should even have to compete anymore. There's nobody that can challenge her. Triple H comes out to a big pop because, when our ratings are down, we just send Triple H out there. And he announces that there will be a challenger, and every woman's going to compete for the chance to be it. And tonight it'll be determined through a battle royal. Shayna seems upset because it seems like she doesn't really want to fight. Crowd hotter. Performance of Triple H was good. C+. Can't expect much better. This is okay, actually, for what this is. Big old cluster of a battle royal here, and Mia Yim wins in the 10-man women mayhem match. So must be a pinfall or submission for each match. So it's a real craziness. Final four is Bianca Belair, Deonna Purrazzo, Candice LeRae, and Mia Yim. Bianca Belair being the final elimination, and also got the most eliminations in the match. Give her a bit of a bump. Does pretty well, though, for everything considered. I mean, I kind of expect this to be lower because some of their skill sets wildly vary, but ends up being okay. We have a promo on stage. Dalton Castle says, "You saw what the boys can do. You saw what I can do." To the dream, that the dream is over, and that now the era of the Peacock has begun. Kind of, again, taunting Velveteen Dream after his debut and his win against him. Does okay. 43, not bad. We have a tag match with Matt Riddle and Kushida. I think my neighbor is leaking. What the hell was that? It's like a waterfall. Anyways, I'm distracted. So, Matt Riddle and Kushida versus Xavier Woods and Damian Priest. Kushida and Matt Riddle had a match previously and squared off. Matt Riddle was the better, but Kushida got respect. Xavier Woods still losing his matches and getting partnered up with Damian Priest here. And Xavier Woods, of course, now full heel. And they have a match and sort of kind of an exhibition rematch to see if he can get that win against Matt Riddle. Doesn't have much heat, has decent wrestling, though. Unfortunately, though, Matt Riddle does defeat Xavier Woods and ends up defeating Damian Priest by submission after Kushida kind of flies out of the ring and knocks Woods out, leaving Riddle the opportunity to submit Priest. Does pretty okay. All around, they're not bad. Gains some heat for the Count of Montefisto. Gets a C, 59, and we continue the rivalry between the two, which culminates into this scene where Woods freaks out over the loss and Kushida's involvement. Attacks Kushida ruthlessly in a heelish way, and it brings Matt Riddle out from ringside to kind of confront Woods and save Kushida. The two square off, kind of cementing their face-off at War Games. So Matt Riddle underperformed. We did advance the storyline. It's still got pretty okay ratings here. It's not too bad. This is perfect. We have Bray Wyatt backstage kind of ranting in the Fiend mask. He taunts Finn backstage, says you think you're the demon, well, I'm the Fiend. He's like, you think you can sneak away, you think you can, use this location and the people to feed off of their energy. There's no escape for you. And he wants a cage match. So War Games, cage match, if Finn accepts, we will have a cage match. Holy, what the hell are they doing up there? So, we now definitely have a cage match going on with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, versus Finn, the Demon. There will be no escape for either of them. Must submit the other or pinfall. And kind of culminating to a good War Games match. And hey, we already got the cage out, so might as well use it, right? Gets a 92, can't ask for much better. And for our main event of the evening, after being declared that all three were going to be in the War Games match, they all have an exhibition tag team match that ends in... Well, this is weird. That's not how... Okay, this reads weird. It ends up being a draw. This is weird. This match isn't the way it's supposed to look. But all three are fighting. They end up having a screwy, like a total disqualification match as the match ends up breaking down completely. Nobody wins. It's a draw. And the fight continues out as just total chaos after the match, with the bell ringing nonstop. Staff pours out to break the teams up. They can't contain them. All six men, they just absolutely hate each other, and they're fighting in the ring, fighting everywhere. Apparently no one cares, though, because the rating sucks. So this big climactic moment is actually losing the storyline heat, thus bombing the show. And finally, we save it a little bit with Dash and Dawson and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly on the ring, fighting up the ramp towards the announce table, and the Revival end up lifting up the Undisputed Era and power bombing them through the announce table to a big pop. Gains heat back. Apparently, Street Profits are not profitable for us in this matchup because, boy, did they suck that rating down. But the Revival ends up saving us with a 53C minus to end the show and setting up the War Games match coming up. It does okay, 61C. It's a little bit lower than I would like to see. I'm not super comfortable with that, but we're going to have to see what we're looking at. Okay, now is the moment of truth. We got our rating in 1.45, and we will have to see what we're looking at in terms of AEW Dynamite. So let's go ahead and look at our recap here. NXT Live, we are at a 61C. It is a sellout for our attendance. Oh, we didn't put ourselves in the right location. That's fine. Whatever. Forgot to do that, but I guess we went on the road that week. But we have 61C with a 1.45 television rating. So we have to beat that. 61C 1.45. Let's see what Dynamite has. God. They crushed us on both fronts. All right, well, let's put it on the bar, and let's see what their show was. Chris Daniels defeats Michael Nakazawa. They have a backstage segment with Rhodes, Omega, and Jackson. Private Party defeat the Dark Order. They had their final match of the night was Jericho defeating Chima and Cody to retain the world title. Yeah, it's a pretty good match. I could see that. Man, that sucks. Our talent is just so much weaker, I guess. So they almost beat us by, 10 points? Exactly 10 points there, and about 4 points in the ratings. So we'll have to reflect that on the bar above us, but that is, I think that takes away all of our momentum. Yep, there goes the bar. So we pretty much have no leverage now. It also means, got to spin the wheel. And we're back to the meddler. So we reset the Meddling McMahon wheel anytime we have to get meddled with, and it defaults at 2, and we gain 1 for each loss. So we got 1 extra meddler in here, so we have like a 33% chance of getting meddled with. We will see how it goes. Damn it. All right, we're getting meddled with again.
Good shit.
Let's bring up the meddler. The meddler now has several new viewer requests and on there. Again, just keep on sending to me. I'm going to pretty much add on not almost everything. A lot of the ones I've not added are ones that are like hire this team or hire that team yet. I want them to be really mean and hurt me. Because I like to suffer. So let's go ahead and see how I'm going to suffer this week. Submitted by Newfie Bulk from the comments section on YouTube. You need more heel turns. Do a random heel face turn on the next show. So we just got to pick somebody randomly and turn them either face or heel. That decision, I will leave up to you guys. So in the comments, please go and tell me who should have a random face or heel turn next episode. The one with the most likes or the most repeats on the comments section will probably be the one chosen. So make sure you're upvoting your friends up there, giving them nice likes, so I kind of know what everyone is jiving with, and we will suffer together on our quest, apparently, for NXT irrelevance, because that seems to be the direction we're heading. But that is it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me once again. Remember, check out next week. Keep a focus on the channel. If you're not already notified, please notify yourself. Put that little bell thing or whatever. I don't know how YouTube works. There's a button or something, because I am going to have probably like 3 or 4 episodes, different things popping up. Really excited to show you guys what I've been working on, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining the channel and the ride. I will see you next time. Bye.